Welcome to Between the Reads, a podcast about Black books. I'm your host, Audra Russell. Welcome to Season 3. There are so many great new things happening this year with the podcast, and I can't do it without your support. So please consider heading over to patreon.com/betweenthereads to join. Are you ready, Booze and Bros? Then sit back, relax, and let's get to it. Valjeanne Jeffers is a speculative fiction writer, screenwriter, Spelman College graduate, and a member of the Horror Writers Association and the Carolina African American Writers Collective. She is the author of 10 books, which include her Immortal, Mona Livelong Paranormal Detective, and the Switch series. Valjeanne has been published in numerous anthologies, including Steamfunk, The Ringing Ear, Luminescent Threads, Connections to Octavia E. Butler, Fitting In, Historical Accounts of Paranormal Subcultures, Sycorax's Daughters, Black Magic Women, The Bright Empire, and most recently, All the Songs We Sing, Bloodrotica Volume 1, Slay, Stories of the Vampire Noir, Obsidian Tales, and Sorghum and Spear, The Way of Silk and Stone. She is also the screenwriter of the film adaptation of her novel, The Switch to Clockwork. Valjeanne, welcome to Between the Reads.
Thank you. I'm gonna make a small correction. It's pronounced Valjeanne.
Valjeanne,
It's
okay.
pronounced
Thank you for
Valjeanne.
saying that, y'all. It's
Yeah.
Valjeanne.
You
Okay,
were
that's
reading so
absolutely...
beautifully and you had a flow. I said I'm not gonna interrupt her till she finishes. Right?
Well, Valjeanne, thank you so
hmm
much. Yes, because we got to get the names right. Absolutely. So let's get right to it.
Okay.
Immortal. Give our readers a brief synopsis of what this is about.
Okay. Um, there are four novels in the Immortal series. I'll start from Immortal, just Immortal, because there are
Okay.
four that follow it. Starts out with a young black woman.
Mm-hmm.
She's a healer. She works in a drug clinic, and she's very good at her job, but she keeps having all these very vivid, horrifying sometimes, and sometimes erotic dreams.
Mm-hmm.
And so from these dreams, two figures will emerge. Um, one who holds the key to what she's experiencing, and another one that threatens her whole planet.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and
hmm
it is very, very good.
Thank
So where
you.
did the idea come from?
Oh no. Um, you know, I never thought of myself as a writer, always as a reader. And I always loved speculative fiction, but until Octavia Butler, I didn't know of any black speculative fiction writers. And then I discovered her, and after that, Nalo Hopkinson and Tanana Reeve Dew. Those were the first. And then I was like, well, if they're doing it, maybe I can do it. And so I just kind of floated things around in my mind, to see what I came up with, and that idea emerged. Yeah.
Okay.
hmm
Okay. Now, Tundra is a world where there's no racism,
hmm
there's no sexism, there's no violence, there's no weapons.
hmm
People are different colors like indigo and fuchsia,
Actually,
copper
they're
and amber.
black. That
They're black.
they are black. Indigo is, and it's okay because some readers see them as black and some see them as different colors. Indigo
Okay.
is actually black.
Okay.
Um, Bronze is
Okay.
Latinx.
Okay.
Um, Copper is Native American, and
Okay.
fuchsia is Caucasian.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was wondering because I saw some parallels in there, but in my mind, it just went into they
hmm
were just colors.
And
You
that's,
know, wh-
hey, yeah, whatever the reader like, yeah, whatever, because the reader's going to get in different interpretations when they read your stuff. So,
right, right,
hmm
right. And then you have tundra politicians who bankrolled illicit drugs.
hmm
There were no liquor stores, and there were clinics for anyone wanting to get off drugs.
hmm
But it wasn't always that way in Tundra. So,
hmm
can you tell us the backstory of that world?
Um, Before the time of legend, that's what it's called. Immortal Two is called Immortal Two, the time of legend. Before the time of legend, kind of pictures society very similar to ours.
Mm-hmm.
There were a lot of wars going on. Um, People were starving in the streets. Nobody really cared, you know. Um, and the people of different provinces decided enough was enough, and they
Mhm.
took their society, really took their world back, and
Mhm.
they banned weapons. The only place you could
Mhm.
find weapons in the tundra that you read about in Immortal is in museums.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
So they just,
So then why did you want why did you, since they are, they're black and they're Native American, why did
mhm.
you choose to name them, fuchsia and copper and amber and indigo?
But a different world.
Okay.
Just that's how I conceived it. Yeah.
Okay.
Just a different, yeah, just a different alternate universe. Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
Now, the belief system of Tundra, I'm wondering about this because the book mentions the year of our one.
Hmm.
So, can you elaborate on that a little bit?
That's like the year of God,
Okay.
the year that God, God gives us. This is this particular year. The
Okay.
the
And
one
so
is
is
God. Uh-huh.
one is God. Okay.
Hmm.
So I was
Yeah.
just wondering about their whole
Hmm.
belief system.
Hmm.
Okay. And then let's go back a little bit because you talked about the time of legend. So
Hmm.
let's expand on that a little bit more. What is the time of legend in this
The
book?
time of legend is the time when the revolution took place,
Mhm.
when citizens decided to take back their world. And they said,
Okay.
this is our world. It doesn't
Mhm.
belong to you. You know,
Mhm.
they decided that they would no longer let old men send young men off to die in wars.
Mhm.
And so that was a time of legend. The second novel, well, I don't want to give too much away, but the second novel explores, kind of travels back in time, and you see
Okay.
the time. That's the time of legend. Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so is the Book of Legends, is does that just record everything that
Yeah,
happened
it's like a
during that
history book.
Holocaust? Okay.
Yeah, it's like a
Right.
history book. Yeah. Hmm.
Okay. Now, you have in the book there are the others, and I know Carla and Joseph
Hmm.
are two of the others.
Hmm.
Now, describe to our readers what the others are because I thought they were really neat.
Thank you. They're
Uh-huh.
supernatural. They're
Mhm.
supernatural creatures. They're werewolves.
Mhm.
They're werewolves,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
they can shape shift whenever they want to. It's not something like, the moon is full. Oh God, look at my hands. It's if they need their powers, they're able to tap into them.
Mhm.
That's why they're
But
called the
they
others.
didn't know that
Mm-mm,
they were other
mm-mm.
because
No.
they were kind of time traveling, through the book, and they were
Uh-huh.
what they thought were dreams, but it was actually them in
Mm-hmm.
other lives.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Like Revelations. Somebody on Twitter actually talked about this. Time. Have you ever thought about how we could travel in dreams? I said, well, I actually wrote about that. You know,
Mhm.
I wouldn't necessarily, I
Mhm.
don't know if it's true or not, but that's what I wrote about. And that the dreams are like different realities when they sleep. It's like they're
Mhm.
like different realities. Like what
Mhm.
happened, you remember what happened with her when she traveled back to God, what is the name of that city she traveled back to? It's
I can't
bad. You
remember,
can't
but I
even
know what
remember.
you're talking about.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And that guy in Teotep attacked her. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, are Matt and Carlos, are they both also others?
They're others.
Okay.
And there are more that will be introduced that are introduced in the second novel. Those are
Okay.
just, yeah. Hmm.
So how did you come up with the concept of, because you have Teotep,
Hmm.
and without giving too much away, I'll just say that he is immortal,
Hmm.
and he wants to end this kind of utopian society that
Hmm.
Tundra
Hmm.
is.
Hmm.
Now, are are the four others, because he seems especially interested in kind of ruining them, especially Carla.
Yeah.
So, can you tell us a little bit about why, without giving the book away, why is he so interested in these four others?
He's very Teotep is the archetype of the man or woman that stalks you,
Mhm.
who wants total control over you,
Mhm.
you know. And in his own twisted way, he feels like he loves her. but
Mhm.
it's a very, like I said, it's a very twisted love. And so he
Yes.
figures if he can get rid of Joseph, then he'll have, really, he wants to destroy everything around her.
Mhm.
Joseph, Matt, Opal, yeah, anyone that she's close to. And he figures once he does that, then he'll have her to himself. She won't have any place else to go. You know,
But why is he so,
low
you know,
down.
I mean, I mean, he is just obsessed with her, like
Mhm.
and ruining Tundra. Okay, if he wants her, why does he have to ruin Tundra in the process
You
of that?
know, think about the power dynamic that we're dealing with right now
Okay.
in this country. You
Mhm.
know, you're like, what? You know, why do you need all this money? You think you can take
Mhm.
it with you? You know, I mean,
Mhm.
it's just crazy, you know, and
Mhm.
willing to let the earth, our planet, just die. Yeah. And
Yes.
so what you have is you have someone who is totally obsessed with her, totally obsessed with power and control
Mhm.
and warping things, changing the reality to what he feels like it would suit him, that would give him the most control, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm just
Okay.
like he,
Okay.
I'm just like, okay, he's obviously, I'm like he is really obsessed with Carla,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
to the point where he has this uncanny ability. He can control people's thoughts in their
Mhm.
dreams.
Mhm. Yeah.
And he's recruiting more people to
Mhm.
be a part of his army.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
I just found that really interesting. And I have all the other books on my Kindle, and I need to read them because I was just
No, thank
kind
you
of,
so much.
oh
Mhm.
yes,
Uh-huh.
absolutely, because I'm trying to figure out, I'm like, what is his
What is his
deal? Like
deal? Yeah.
he's trying to get everybody. He's because when he recruits people, he gives them they have to go through this like
Yeah.
transmogrification,
Mhm. Yeah.
and then once they do, he tells them that if you pass the initiation,
Mhm.
that
You
you can
survive.
have
Yeah.
all the drugs that you want,
Mhm.
because people do placid and they do
Mhm.
rush,
Mhm.
and it won't harm you. You won't have any side effects from it,
Mhm. Mhm.
and you'll be beautiful if you weren't already beautiful, and you'll be like
Mhm.
supernaturally strong. But what they don't know is that they'll become shells of
Yeah,
themselves
one day
the longer
they
they.
will miss they'll miss their humanity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I'm just
Mhm.
wondering what he's recruiting all these people for.
Yeah, for his, like you said it best, for his army. And you
Yeah, but
kind of
what is
draw,
this army for? To
art imitates life. And I look at, you look at somebody, for example, like Putin. You're like,
Mm-hmm.
what is your deal?
Right.
You've
Right.
been president like 16 years, okay?
Right. Right.
And it's like, I'm thinking, it would seem to me that the older you get, the you would kind of wonder what was on the other side and what kind of life I've lived. And
Mm-hmm.
you see what I'm saying? And it's like
Right.
they just, they just continue on,
Mm-hmm.
with no forethought. I'm like, eventually you're gonna die, right? Eventually
Right.
they're gonna put some dirt on you, okay? You do realize that, but
Yeah, I just, like I said, I'm just really, I was like, what is his problem? What
yeah,
does
what
he
is this
need?
problem? Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I mean, because he, like I said, he's so obsessed with Carla, and
Hmm.
at the same time he's building this war,
Hmm.
and all these questions are going through my head. I'm like, are
Hmm.
you know, you want Carla, but you also want to destroy everything
Destroy the world.
around
What
you.
he wants chaos, and he feels
Yes.
like he can rule through chaos. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Well,
he's a bad
now,
guy. Yeah, he's a
yes,
bad
he
guy.
is.
But in a
Yes,
way,
he
he's
is.
kind of sexy. I mean, the way I built him, you said not really.
I I don't know. He kind of scary to me. He just appeared in the beginning, when he just appeared in the corner of her room, and I'm like,
Hmm. Yeah,
okay,
scared
all
her to
right.
death, right? She's like, what's
Mm-hmm.
that? Yeah. Hmm. Yeah.
Yes, Yes, that he
Mhm.
it's kind of creepy the way he can just, show up, just materialize
Mhm.
wherever he
Yeah.
wants to. And even more creepy than that, like I said, him with with controlling people's thoughts
Mhm.
and, making them sleepwalk and just be in
Oh
different
yeah.
worlds and then
Mhm.
come
Yeah.
back
Mhm.
and they don't
Yeah.
know what's happened to them.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
that's especially scary for Carla because she's a reformed drug
Drug
addict,
addict.
you
And you
know.
know they used to be together. I don't know if you picked that up. They used to be together.
I got inklings of that
Mhm. Yeah.
because
Yeah.
she talked about how, you know, they were lovers
Mhm.
before.
Yeah.
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 So
Mhm.
that was interesting. I
Yeah.
was like,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
Like I said, the lover that stalks you, male or
Mm-hmm.
female, that you cannot get rid of. You
Right.
know, and I think someone said a while back that one thing about psychos is that they're really committed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. They
So,
they're they're 100% all the
mhm.
way stop at nothing
Mhm.
to get what
Yeah.
they want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Now in the book, they talk about looking at the Illuminae.
Mhm. That's the sun.
It is the sun.
That's the sun.
Okay.
Mhm.
So you have all these beautiful words for
Thank
all these
you. Thank
things that
you.
are just,
Mhm.
things in our world, but you've given it a whole different vocabulary.
Thank you.
So
Yeah.
what made you decide to do that?
Actually, I started out as a poet
Okay.
before I was ever published. I was published as a poet.
Okay.
Um, and the Ringing Ear, Black Poets Lean South, that's one of them. And
Okay.
Revelry.
Mhm.
So just kind of really like playing with words, um,
Mhm.
kind of just tapping into your imagination, and then
Mhm.
kind of trying to write something that the reader will, like you dig it, the
Mhm.
reader will,
Mhm.
I don't know, identify with or find it, inspire their imagination. Yeah.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah, because when I was reading, I can always tell when I'm into a book because when
Hmm.
I read and I start to see pictures in my head,
Hmm. Hmm.
that's when I know I'm really invested in the story.
Thank you so
That's
much.
why, oh yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely. That's why, going back to the way that you talked about their skin color,
Hmm.
they're actually, different races, but
Hmm.
the way you used color,
Hmm. Yeah.
it's almost like you deconstructed
Oh
race,
wow, thanks. I think that
you
was
know.
actually what I was trying to do.
Mhm.
Um, that race is, how do I say this? It's kind of what we put on it. I guess
Mhm.
is what I'm trying to say. You know,
Mhm.
what we call black, what we call brown, what we call,
Mhm.
So I think that's a really brilliant way of putting it, deconstructing it.
Yeah, because
Hmm.
that's what and really the whole book. When I'm looking at things because I saw parallels,
Hmm.
when you wrote about certain things, I was like that sounds like indigenous peoples, and
Hmm.
I was just making connections because I'm
Hmm.
a very I don't just read, I kind of read and I'm always in the background thinking
Hmm.
of what is this similar to now.
Hmm.
But like I
Hmm.
said, your words are very it kind of it took me a minute to get my footing in the beginning,
Hmm.
but once I did, it didn't take very long. But once I did, like I said, it's like you took the world we're in now and deconstructed it and
Hmm.
then rebuilt it and redefined it.
Hmm.
And I really liked the one part in the book where you said that the people on Tundra were actually immune to racism and sexism.
Hmm.
That was really, really powerful. You
Thank
know,
you.
I
I
was like,
want
oh,
it,
I
that's
wish I could be immune to it.
that's what I guess really I built the world that I would like to see.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think we came really close to it in the 60s and the 70s, and then somehow or another we just fell off,
Mm-hmm.
course.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but that's what I would like our world to become,
Yes.
where we take care of Mother Earth, where we
Mm-hmm.
take care of each other.
Mm-hmm.
Um, racism is nothing more than a tool used by the very
Yes.
powerful to divide us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and when I was writing, I guess I was writing what I would, like I said, what I would like to see our world become, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm. Absolutely. Now, this book ends on quite a bit of a cliffhanger.
Oh, but you have the next one, so
I do. I do. But this is a series, and there
hmm
are 5 books in the series.
four, four.
4 books in the
Hmm.
series. Okay.
Yeah, four.
Now, can you tell us a little bit more about the things we'll be seeing in the other series?
Okay. I'll give away too much, but they will travel back in time to the time of
Mhm.
legend. Okay,
Mhm.
that's when they meet the other part of their family, because
Okay.
there are 6 others in total. So,
Mhm.
of course, Matt doesn't make it, but when you get to,
Right.
yeah, when you get to, oh God, just gave away a big one. Oh well. Anyway,
That's all right. That's all right. Trust me, it's a big, but it's a
it's a
small.
small, okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
so they go back to the time of legend, and what they're really trying to do is stop what Teotep has put in process. Okay.
Mhm.
Um
Mhm.
they're, like I said, they're all werewolves.
Mhm.
Um they are guardians that come into play.
Mhm.
I really think you'll like the time of legend. Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I'm
Um
excited to read it.
in Immortal 3,
Mhm.
that's when I bring in vampires.
Okay.
Hmm. Yeah. And I
Okay.
have a
And then in the
vampire in there. She's one of my favorite characters.
Okay.
Annabelle, yeah. She is kind of she's a very complex character.
Mhm.
She's really very what's the word I'm looking for? In the beginning, she really only cares about herself and what she needs and what she wants. But
Mhm.
characters evolve. So,
Right.
mhm,
Mhm.
yeah. So,
And then what about book 4? What are we going to see in book 4?
book 4 kind of
Does it tie it all
it
together?
ties it all together. But what has happened? You have kind of a cataclysm, a catastrophic event in book 3 that kind of
Mhm.
throws everything, just everything off. And so the
Mhm.
characters have to, uh, how do I say? The characters have to find a way to pull it back together. Yeah.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, now that we know that your characters are actually black and
Hmm.
Caucasian and Native American,
Hmm.
would you consider your book Afrofuturism?
Hmm.
Okay.
Definitely. Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
So, I want your thoughts on this quote. We have the power to show what an inclusive future looks like.
Hmm. I mean, that's what I tried to do
Mhm.
in the Immortal series. And I have to tell you, I love these characters. I
Mhm.
love them. I fell in love with them.
Mhm.
They became so real for me.
Mhm.
And through them, and well, I call all my characters spirits that walk across the page. Okay.
Mhm.
And through them and in their world, I built something that I felt like I said, it's what I would want our earth to look like one day,
Mhm.
you know,
Mhm.
where
Mhm.
the powerful are not just oppressing, the powerless, we're not burning rainforests, and
Mhm.
people are sleeping on the streets, and folks just step over them like they don't see them. That is not the world. I mean, we're better than that, or we can be better than that. And
Right.
that's what I tried to I guess it wasn't a conscious decision. It just came about. Yeah.
Mhm.
Naturally when I
Mhm.
was writing.
Mhm. So, do you think that white people have a place in Afrofuturism?
Yeah. I mean,
You know I got to put you on the hot seat at least once.
yeah. Okay. But I mean, I have white characters in my novels. Um, but I don't think, I mean, in Afrofuturism, people of color are not sidekicks.
Mhm.
We're not, meant to be just discarded, you know,
Mhm.
or we saving the white folks,
Mhm.
so they can move
Mhm.
on. I was
Mhm.
watching a show recently, and they killed off the only main black character in the show. And I just lost interest in it.
Mhm.
I said, you got to
Mhm.
see your white folks,
Mhm.
and you kill off this one character. I just lost interest. That's
Mhm.
not what Afrofuturism. In Afrofuturism, we are at the forefront. We
Yes.
are in control of our own destiny. So,
Mhm.
I mean, I think there is room for white characters, but you know, um, Matt is a very important character in Immortal, and he's
Mhm.
very important. Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, but I believe it probably would mostly be populated by peoples of color. Yeah.
Mhm. So, what's your favorite thing about the Afrofuturism genre?
Well, that's a good question. I think it just opened up a lot of doors for us. You
Mhm.
know, it has so many subgenres. You know,
Mhm.
science fiction, horror,
Mhm.
um, and in every one we're kind of reimagining what our world is, reimagining and trying to show people, you know, that this can be better. This is what we can do. I'm not
Mhm.
some not all of it is positive now. Well, all of
Mhm.
it's not happy. For example, and I
Mhm.
love this movie, Candyman 3.
I haven't watched it. I'm too scared.
Oh girl. I mean, and it's not a happy movie, but
Mhm.
it's brilliant.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Uh, Lovecraft Country. That's another
Oh,
one.
now that I loved. I was so
Hmm.
angry that they canceled that show.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
What's the other one? The Watchmen.
Yes, The Watchmen was
Hmm.
very good.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
didn't they cancel that one too though?
I think so. Yeah.
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 Which, it just upsets me because it seems like anytime there is a show that shows black people in these
Forefront.
positions
Yeah.
where we have no constraints on us, there's no racism,
Hmm.
we're not, or there may be racism, but we're not
We're very powerful.
constrained by it. Yes, we're
We're
very
very powerful.
powerful, and it's kind of a side note. It's something we deal with, but it does not hinder us
Hmm.
and our ability to just really stretch and grow and have agency over
Right.
our lives.
Right.
And
Exactly.
but every time there's a show like that, it always
Gets
gets
canceled. But
canceled,
I mean,
which
sister, we are here.
we are
We are
here
here, and we
and we're
gonna
not
keep on.
going
We gonna
anywhere.
keep on coming.
Yes, absolutely. And I think
Yeah.
I've been so obsessed with I found this book called Afrofuturism, and her name is either Etasha or Waitasha. I don't know how she
Hmm.
pronounces her first name, and I cannot remember. I think her last name is Womack. And
Hmm.
she just talks about the whole genre itself of
Hmm.
Afrofuturism.
Hmm.
And she even relates it to art and to music like Parliament Funkadelic and
Hmm.
Sun
Hmm.
Ra.
Hmm.
And, I
Ooh, Sun
just,
Ra. Yes.
yes,
Hmm.
yes. So I've just been so, because these are things. I mean, obviously I knew about Parliament Funkadelic, but
Yeah.
Sun Ra was
Hmm.
new to me, and so I've been listening to his music and
Hmm.
just going on this down this rabbit hole of Afrofuturism,
Hmm.
and I just adore it.
Yes.
And there are
Yes.
books that I have on my shelf that I didn't even think of as Afrofuturism, but
Hmm.
they are.
Hmm.
Like Brown Girl in the Ring.
Brown Girl in the Ring. Yeah.
Yes,
Hmm.
and Tananarive Due,
Hmm.
and now yourself,
No,
you're a
thank
part
you.
of that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
so I just really love it, and
Yeah.
it was just, getting to talk to you about your worlds as a part of
Hmm.
this whole thing. It's just
Hmm.
really amazing.
Okay.
So, do you have any new books on the horizon?
Well, I have those other series, Mona Live Long. That's the one
Mhm.
about the paranormal detective. She's also a
Mhm.
sorceress.
Okay.
And I got to give a shout out to my guy Quentin Ville, because
Okay.
he's an author himself. He writes
Mhm.
erotic poetry mostly. He has written some horror,
Uh-huh.
and he's done all my covers
Mhm.
since he started with Immortal 3. So he's done all my
Okay.
covers.
Okay.
And I got the switch. I'm working on a screen. Well, I've completed a screenplay pilot for the
Okay.
switch. What I'm trying to do now is find representation.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. And do you have any books in the future, like ideas of things you want to write or?
Actually, I'm working on Mona Live Long 4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got carpal tunnel, and
Uh-huh.
yeah, and so it's very difficult for me to write. I
Mhm.
have to use my stupid hand to write, and because
Mhm.
I or type, yeah, write on notebook or type. So
Mhm.
I'm gonna get that text. What is it? Text to speech? Is that what they call it?
Right,
Yeah.
yeah. Mhm.
Until I get healed up. Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
Now, where can readers find your books?
Okay. Amazon, of course. They sell
Mhm.
everything. Yeah.
Yes,
Smash
they do.
words.
Okay.
And I have personal sites. Or rather me and my guy have a personal site. www V as
Mhm.
in Victor
Mhm.
Jeffers
Mhm.
and qville.com.
Okay.
And then
And
go
and
ahead.
Smashwords, is that
Smash
smashwords.com?
words is like it's another ebook.
Okay.
It's
Okay,
like
gotcha.
they service all of everything. Kindle, Mobi. Oh yeah.
Okay. All right.
And,
And then where else can we find your books?
um, Cyrogenous. I forgot to mention that one.
Okay.
That's a an erotic anthology that
Okay.
my guy and I co-edited. There is a website just for Cyrogenous. It's
Okay.
kind of long. Let me see. How is it? I'm gonna have to type it and send it to you. Right? Nobody's gonna
That's
remember it if I say it right. And then
right. Well,
and
I can put it in the show notes so people can
okay,
see it.
okay.
Yeah.
And
So
then
you send it to me and I'll include it.
okay, great. And then
Mhm.
I did an audiobook of Immortal 3. And so I have
Okay.
a site for that. People can get on the site and listen to, like, I think it's the first 9 chapters. And then if they
Okay.
want to buy, chapters, I sell them for like $1 a piece. They can do
Okay.
that. Yeah.
All right.
Hmm.
All right. And where can we find you on social media?
Everywhere.
Well, give us your handles for for
um,
your different
Let me
platforms.
see. I'm on Facebook. What is my handle for Facebook? I don't even know. Wait a minute, I'll find it.
Well,
That's
while you're
bad, I
thinking about
know.
it, how about and listen, everybody does it. How about Twitter and Instagram while you're looking that one up?
Okay. Okay, it's facebook.com/
Mhm.
Valjeanne Jeffers.
Okay.
That's the and then on Instagram,
Yep. Yep.
instagram.com/ Valjeanne Jeffers.
Mhm. And then are you on Twitter as well?
I actually have 4 Twitter accounts, but it's only one
Oh
that
my
I
goodness.
usually use. Yeah, I went overboard with
Okay.
Twitter. Let me see. And pull it up. Yeah, don't judge me. I mean, I think 1 or 2 of them I've forgotten the passwords. It's just terrible. Okay.
Y'all,
Let's see.
Valjean is funny. She's sitting over here for my audio people. She's sitting here looking everything up while we talking.
Okay. Here, wait, where is it? Okay, twitter.com/ Valjean.
Is it very easy? Slash
Yeah.
Valjean. All right, there we
Mhm.
go. Well, we
Yeah.
have come to the end of our show. I
I
want
had
to
a good
thank you so
time.
much for sharing your time and talents with me today. I had a great time too, and I'm glad
Me
you
too.
finally
Yeah.
made it on. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I was sick
Yes.
last time. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I was
Mhm.
so sad and I was so looking
Mhm.
forward to it. But I'm glad I got to read your book all over again
Yeah. Yeah.
and have you on the show. So I'm so
Yeah.
glad you came to be with me today.
Thank you for having me. How do I
You're
pronounce
most
your
welcome.
name? Is it Audrey or
Audra.
Audra? See there? Audra. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep, yep. My dad named me after uh, a white woman on an old TV Western show
Oh,
called The Big
wow.
Valley.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, that's a
Yeah.
very unusual name. It's a pretty name. You may
Thank
wind up as
you.
a character.
That I would be honored to be a character in one
I
of
do
your
that.
books.
Yeah. When somebody has a really pretty name, I'm like,
Mhm.
I'm always looking for names. So, yeah.
Yes, I would be honored, y'all. I'm gonna be in a book.
Yeah. Oh, it'll be in the book. Yeah. And
Oh,
I won't kill
absolutely.
you
Thank
off.
you.
I won't kill you
Oh,
off.
yeah,
Yeah.
please don't do that. Don't kill me off. I want to be like a powerful sorceress or Something like that.
Okay. All
Like,
right. All right.
yeah.
We'll see what we can do. Yeah.
Okay. And y'all, you know how I do at the end of every show? I give you a quote. And today it comes from the late, great Octavia Butler. And she said, "Unite or be divided, robbed, ruled, killed by those who see you as prey. Embrace diversity or be destroyed." Until next time, y'all, you know what to do. Grab a book and read. And I'm out. Thanks for lending me your ear today. If you enjoyed this content, please head over to betweenthereads.com and leave a rating for the show. While you're there, consider supporting this independent podcast by becoming a patron at patreon.com/betweenthereads. Join us next week for another great episode.